this call started. You guys, I have a few announcements, and then I want to talk a little bit about just like mindset and vision and goals and how they're intertwined and how to really use them to drive your business forward, especially when things start to seem incredibly busy or it's a busy time of year and things of that nature. So number one, the sale group. I am going to pull for the raffle tonight. I will probably do it just a little bit after this call. Actually, unless we have a document set up already. You know what? Instead, I'll pull it tomorrow morning. And whoever purchased, just make sure that you put them on there and tell me how many raffle tickets they get. And then I'll go in there with the wheel just like we did last time and pull them because it was fun. They got to watch it and see it and all that jazz and like, that sort of thing. I would tell anybody that you have in there, you guys, that it's like, we haven't made our lists yet. So that's why the raffle hasn't been pulled. So you still have time. If you haven't done it yet, like pull the trigger. I know I sent out a couple messages like that and I just had somebody purchase with an add-on as a coach right now. So they're getting 3 raffle tickets. It was literally like, people will do crazy things to win stuff. So it's not the end. If they haven't purchased something, make sure you go back through the list of anybody that was added in there. If you didn't get a chance to invite as many people into the group as you wanted to, still let them know that, hey, the raffle's closing tonight, but the deals are open all month and I will honor the, the cash back through the end of the month. So if you guys want to take a peek in there now, you can. And that's a great way to continue to invite to that sale and use it to your advantage. I was telling some of the leaders on the team yesterday that the volume on the team jumped like 7,000 volume points in one day because of the sale. Clearly they work. So get your people in there and still take advantage of it. Tomorrow, you guys, salted caramel Shakeology launches. I've tried it. It is amazing. It is really, really good. I wouldn't just say it's good if it wasn't. My nephews even said it was good. They were all like, oh my God, so delicious. If you let it sit there for a second, it kind of almost has like a maple smell to it. So I feel like maybe that's part of how they flavored it was with like real maple or something, but it's delicious. I added just like ice and like coconut milk and like you can throw like a dollop of whipped cream on top. Perfection. So I would reach out to any of your customers, any of your challengers, post something in your challenge group, reach out to some of maybe like your coaches, if you have any inactive coaches, that sort of thing. Maybe get an email out to your customer base, just letting them know that that's launching tomorrow. It's a limited time offer for this particular flavor, and it only comes in packs of 14, you guys. MBF. So muscle burns fat. We all know that that's launching in July, but on the 29th is when the sample workout is coming out. So make sure you put that on your calendar. In the team page, we'll go ahead and we'll give you guys some ideas of how you can spread the sample and get that across so that you can really take advantage of the launch. It's open to, I think, coaches to purchase on the 7th, and then you can look it up. I think it's like the 17th or something like that for customers. And then last but not least for announcements is we are going to do a coach sneak peek on the 30th. Great way to end the month, especially if you've added some customers to your team or even discount coaches to your team or had some new challengers to offer them to get into this sneak peek. We're going to do it slightly different this time. I was talking with Erin Hopkins today and she was just kind of giving me a heads up about like what they do. And so I was like, all right, well, let's try that out. So they do theirs on a Wednesday. It only lasts a day and a half. And the person has to fill out an application by noon on Thursday. No, sorry. They start on Tuesday. If they fill out their application by noon on Wednesday in order to get a spot in there. And then they also build the FOMO by saying they're only taking a few people. And I think that's a great idea because not only can you start everybody at once, you can get them all into a challenge group at once. You can get them all working towards the same things at once and then working in a pod together. So it builds that like ability to kind of like have that confidence behind getting started. So that's what we're going to try on that day. Of course, we'll give more information in the team page and talk about that. So today, we're going to talk about goals and we're going to talk about vision, and they do intertwine, but they are different, you guys. Goal is something that is very short term that you can go after. You can, reverse engineer your goals to make them happen. But the vision is that bigger, deeper thing that you've got going for yourself that keeps you going in this business. And I think that if you don't have a deep enough vision and you're not looking at that so much that you're like showing yourself that this is what's going to happen, sometimes you don't put in enough action to actually actually get to where you want to go. And so I was going to start off by just talking a little bit. I was listening to a call that Moira Casaba did for a retreat, and I've listened to it before, but it's funny. You listen to things and you get like little nuggets each time, right? And I was listening to it and I was like, there is a major difference from when I'm working from a place of belief that it's happening and a place of like, I'm just putting in the work because I have a to-do list, right? So when you have a to-do list, you check the things off your list, you check the boxes off, you're like, yep, did my reach outs, did my follow-ups, like I posted, whatever, but it's vacant. It's like empty and you're just doing the things and you're noticing that you're either staying in the same place or if you're moving forward, it's taking like a really freaking long time to do it. And that's because you are just doing the actions to get somewhere. You're not working from a place of like, I see this happening and this is where I'm going. Because when you know where you're going, you put the effort in to get there. So my very first year of coaching, and I feel like we've got a lot of new people on this call, but my very first year of coaching, I went from, somebody who had said, nope, we'll never build this business, to somebody who got crazy results with insanity, to somebody who was like, okay, this is something I want to do, to that very first month making $1,200 and being like, nope, I really want to do this. Like, what could I do? This is awesome. I'm helping people. It feels really good. To getting to 5-star within 6 months. And at Summit, my very, very first Summit was like 6 months into my coaching journey. And at Summit, I was in qualification for 5-star. So that was kind of insane. And I'm not going to lie to you, I dropped because of one PV point under somebody, but I got it right back there. And then I dropped 2 weeks later because of something else under a different person. And then I got right back up and we did it again. And we held it for 6 weeks. And that year we ended as a 6-star elite team for the first year. But I am telling you that because the only reason, and I can tell you the only reason that I got to that rank, that I helped our team get to that rank, and I helped those people rank up, is because I 100% believed that it was possible. I already saw it in my mind, and I did certain things every single day to build that vision to the point where it just felt like I was working towards something that was already there, but that I was just doing it to get there. And so every single day I would read off my goals. Every single day I would draw out my business. Every single day I would put PD in my head and I would put that belief in my head. Every single day I would meditate, and every single day I would, repeat to myself, I am a 5-star diamond, and I am a 5-star diamond because, and I would give myself the reasons as to why I wanted to be 5-star, but also the reasons as to why I was deserving of it, from a standpoint of like, this isn't just about me. But what I want to talk about within that is, what did I do to get there? So like the goal was 5-star, right? But the vision that I had for 5-star was having a community. It really was like, I had seen our coaches down in Texas getting together with their team for happy hours, getting together with their team for, working at a coffee shop, having Christmas parties, doing these sorts of things. And I was like, well, I want that. Like, I want a team like that. So that was a big part of why I wanted to create a bigger team, not just like, oh, I'm 5-star and I'm making a bonus, right? And within that, when I pictured our team as a 5-star team, I didn't just picture myself, getting a phone call saying, hey, you're 5-star, or opening my back office and having it show up, or, getting the bonus check or anything like that. What I pictured was a team of people sitting in the audience at Summit, screaming and being just as excited for our team as I was. I pictured my people walking across the stage and like me celebrating them and taking pictures of them, and like how freaking cool that felt that we achieved this together. I pictured the fact that like by myself doing this, I was letting other people know that they could do it, right? And I pictured myself leaving my job. I pictured all of those things from the beginning. And every night when I went to bed, I would envision it. I would do a meditation called a white light meditation, and I would allow that vision to come in, and I would start picturing myself on stage. I would picture what I was wearing. I would picture how it felt. I would picture who was sitting there with me. I would picture us celebrating with cocktails afterwards. I pictured us, as a team, all earning more money. I pictured the messages that I was getting in from our team saying, oh my God, I made the most money that I've ever made this week, or oh my God, I sealed the deal on this. And those were the visions that went through my head every single day. And that's what got me to where I wanted to go, because I did that every single night. It just started being something that was so easy to see. It was like already there. And then because I saw it and because I felt it, that's why I was putting in that much effort and that much action and work into my goals to create it. And then it was as easy as, okay, well, if somebody else can, I can. So what is my goal right now? Okay, my goal is elite. I need this many points. I need this many coaches. I need this many people popping diamond. I need this much stuff. And I just started backtracking. How many coaches would I need to sign this month? How many coaches would I need to get into Success Club this month? How many coaches? And back then the parameters were a little different when it came to elite. I feel like it's actually a lot easier to track these days. But then that was the goal that was going to get me to that vision. And so that was easy to go, okay, here's my vision, here's the goal, here's how I backtrack the goal. Okay, this is what I need to do every single day. And because of that, it wasn't, I'm going down my to-do list and I'm writing to these people because I said I would on this checklist. It was, no, I need to find somebody to run with me on my team. So I'm going to reach out until I find somebody to run with me on my team, not just 10 because I told my coach I would do 10 people today. It was a completely different viewpoint of reaching out. There was so much excitement there. There was so much like, this is so fun, like you should be joining me. There was urgency. And it wasn't just like, hey, have you ever considered? And so that changed the way people were responding to me as well. And because I was keeping my mindset in that place with that vision, all of my posts surrounded that as well. And it was just that like energy that people cannot help but latch onto because they want part of whatever you're doing and they don't even give a F what you're doing. Today during the call that I was listening to, Moira was talking about how she was in the car and she had told her team that she was going to make SE 40, which is like a really high number. No, 60, sorry, which is like a high number for her. And she was still like 5 people off and they were going on vacation. And so her big thing was that she wanted to be on vacation and have not let her team down, but also had like, been able to just like spend time with her family and not think about like coaching or what she didn't do. And so she was like, crap, I've got 2 hours in the car. I'm going to make this happen. And because she had that vision of sitting there with her kiddos on the beach and going surfing and doing all these things without a phone attached to her, she sat there and the way that she messaged people changed and there was much more excitement behind it. And so she was like, dude, this group's going to rock. You need to get in with me. And she sold 5 challenge packs in 2 hours in the car and got there and had met her goal. So that's why I'm saying like the vision, when the vision is there, the goals change and then you take the action to meet them. And so to get really clear on what that vision is for yourself, you need to ask yourself, like, what do I really want? Because what you really want can happen and you might not think it can happen right now. And that's holding you back from working this business in a specific way. And it's also holding you back from achieving anything that you want. You need to believe that it's actually there. You need to believe that it can happen for you. And the best way that you can do that is by filling your brain with it every single day. So you need to start paying attention to what that is. If you could wave a magic wand and you could have whatever you want, finances were no issue. Time was no issue because you have enough abundance that's just going to take care of everything for you. What would your life look like? Some of you haven't even taken the time to write it down because you just don't believe that's possible. So what would your life look like? For me, I get to do things like, I don't know, fly my sister and her kids down to Disney and like put them up in a hotel for like a week and have her not like have to pay for a single thing or worry about her son's allergies, have it just like all completely taken care of, right? For me, it would be like taking a plane and bringing my whole entire family to like, Maui for Christmas and renting like a sweet ass like place on the beach and just like spending time together. For me, it would be like more travel with Ryan and I. For me, it would be like taking people out to dinner. For me, it would be like providing experiences for people. For me, it's like a really nice house with a giant oversized island where I can have dinners and host family and host friends. For me, I want a second house out in California on the beach. I want to be able to throw retreats whenever I want to. Like there's all of these things that when I start to write them down, I can envision exactly what that basically glass looking house with the balcony off of it looks like in California that I have with the patio and the fire pits and the pool. Like I can see it all in my mind. I can see our house. I can see the living room. I can see the fireplace. I can see the fireplace that goes into my office. I can see it all in my head and I know that it's there. And so I know that I just have to put in the work to get there. because I have daily signs every single day of other people promoting in this business and other people doing it. And they're no special. They're not any more special than I am. So if they can, I can. So you need to get really, really, really clear on that. So I would say take some time and write it out. And I don't care if you don't believe it right now that it's possible, just start writing it out and then start viewing it every morning when you wake up. The very first thing that you should be doing before any of the other bullshit gets in your head with the news or kids or cleaning or going to work or whatever should be filling your brain when it is nice and clean and clear and crisp in the morning and there's nothing else in there, and saying, this is what I want. This is my vision. This is where I live. This is where I'm at. And reading that vision off to yourself every single day. There's a book called The Miracle Morning, you guys. Many of the people who've been on the team for a little bit have read it, but if you have not, it's a great way to start kind of practicing this whole thing where you wake up and you do your gratitude and you do your journaling and your vision, your meditation and your workout, and that's how you start your day. And I love that quote by Tony Robbins that says, if you don't have 10 minutes to do that in the morning, you don't have a life. That's what sets you up to start creating that life that you want. So you need to take the time to do it. So you can do simple things like get a little journal like this. This is like just a plain little journal that has like your, what you want to focus on, your mantras, your meditations, your gratitude for the day, like what you're excited about. You can just get a regular notebook and you can start writing in it. I really suggest writing. I don't suggest typing it out. There's something different that happens when you put pen to paper. And I really think that you should write down what your life looks like and what you truly want. And then from there, ask yourself, what goal within my business is going to get me there? And then from there, that's where you reverse engineer it. I know so many people in this business will step away because they're like, oh, life got busy, or it's summer, or it's this, or it's that, not realizing that if you guys put the time in up front in this, like early on, if you don't take your foot off the gas when you have some momentum, if you don't take your foot off the pedal when you have that momentum going, and you just keep pushing through, even when it's difficult, even when it's busy, even when those things are going on, you're going to get to that vision of what you want so much freaking faster. You're going to have the life that you want so much faster, rather than every single time something comes up going, you know what, I'm just going to coast for a bit because that's what I'm doing right now. You're not realizing that you're making it so that every year you're going to work hard and then coast, and then work hard and then coast, and then work hard and coast. And you're actually not changing anything. You're staying in the same crazy little cycle. You have to push through. You have to be willing to live like no one else, so later on you can live like no one else for a little bit. It is short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And when you have a vision that is strong enough, you are willing to put up with that because you know that it's there and you know that it's possible. So get a journal, get a notebook, whatever you want to write it down in. And I want you guys all to take time this week and really, really, really get firm on that, what that life looks like. And then I want you to write down your goals of what you're going to achieve by the end of this year. And then I want you to figure out what you need to do each month and each week till the end of the year to make that happen. Because I guarantee when you break it down like that, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, that's not that hard. It's crazy when that happens. You're like, oh, that's not that hard, right? And then you start thinking of creative ways, and your brain is open to creative capacity because you've got the plan marked down. So now you're just following that plan and you're doing the things knowing it's going to happen. And then the other stuff starts popping up because you've allowed yourself to have a little more time to think because you set that plan in place and you know what's going on. All right. So what else? Gratitude, meditation, those two things as well. When you're practicing those things, when you're practicing your gratitude, I don't want you just to make a list of like, I like the sun and I like the air and today was awesome. Someone said like, I love you to me or whatever. No, I want you to talk about the feeling behind the gratitude that you have. Like if you are grateful that it's sunny out, why? Are you able to enjoy it because of something else that's happening? And how did that make you feel? If you have gratitude because you made extra money in your bank account because of this business, why? What is that going towards? How does that make you feel? You have to get behind the feelings of the gratitude. Otherwise, it doesn't really do much for you. Meditation. You guys, how many of you meditate? I do not see a lot of hands on here. Yeah. Gabi always says, to the people who say they don't have time to meditate, do you have time to feel like shit? And so the thing is I know my life is better when I practice meditation consistently. And when things start getting good, you pull away, and then all of a sudden things start going bad again. And then you're like, wait, what's going on? You have to stick with it. And I know it's hard sometimes to be like, oh, what am I doing? This feels awkward. I'm like breathing in and breathing out, and there's some weird mantra going on, or I don't know who to follow, or I don't know what to do. Guys, you can shut your eyes and you can literally just for like 5 breaths, start that way. Breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds. Do that to start if you don't know anything else to do. There's also one where you can hold your pulse and you can feel the beat of your heart, and you can just breathe in and breathe out with your pulse. It's called Pieces in My Pulse. There's different things that you can do that. You can go look it up. You can think of a mantra. You can think of a way that you want to feel. And while you're doing that meditation, you can feel that. One of the ones that I would highly recommend is Gabi's white light meditation. That's what I did every single night before I went to bed when at that very first year when I was cranking. It's like 7 minutes or something like that. Also, there's a meditation I know I've mentioned it on here before. It's called Ek Onkar. We can type it out in the chat if you want. This one is a little longer. You don't have to do it the whole time. I think that's how you spell it, but you all get the gist. And that one is the only meditation that comes with a warning, because what you think about while you're doing it will come to fruition. The good news is it puts you in a really good mood. So hopefully it's the good stuff that you're thinking about. But that's what I used to do every single night as a new coach. I would think about my goals. I would say them out loud. I would say that I was deserving of them and give the reasons why. And then I would do the white light meditation, and then I would do Ek Onkar. And I did that every single night before I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I would redraw out my business center. I would rewrite down my goals. I would write down what I was going to do. I would do my workout. I would journal my gratitude. And I did that every single day. And I'm telling you, it works. And when I was listening to that call today, I was like, holy shit, that is what I did. And that's what we should be doing. And I can't believe that that's like the part I forget. But that is the whole entire thing, is your belief in yourself and where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, like, how are you going to get there? You can't ask for directions to somewhere if you don't know where you're going. So that is all I wanted to talk about. I know I was asking others if they wanted to say anything too while we're on here. So if anybody wants to add anything, any good tips, any good things that they're doing in order to keep a good mindset and keep going and build their vision, you're welcome to share. If anybody has questions, you're welcome to. I know this wasn't a typical call of like, here's what we're doing and here's what you need to go do. But I think it's really important, you guys. It's probably one of the most important things, and we don't talk about it very much. And it's just getting your head right.
I was actually just sharing in all my groups this a podcast episode from the Ed Milet show that I listened to actually this morning. I haven't even finished it, but even within the first 5 minutes, it's Evolve Your Brain with John Assaraf. I don't know if that's how you say it. And you listen to all of them. I mean, pro athletes, they all do the vision exercises, envisioning exactly how you want something to go, because our brains, he said something, visualization is not practice, but, oh shit, now I can't think of the word. Damn it. Anyway.
Put into practice?
It means like to practice, I feel like. I'll figure it out anyway. But if you listen, you'll get it. But he just talks about how powerful our brains are and visualization can be, and like most people don't see it or don't realize it, but how all these pro athletes and super successful people do all of this stuff all the time, and they just are constantly envisioning what they want to happen, because our brains will automatically start to make it happen, because we get to teach it what to do, what to see, how to act. And so it's a really good episode, and like I said, I've only listened to like 20 minutes of it so far. It's almost an hour long, but It's the Ed Milet Show, and the episode is Evolve Your Brain with John Assaraf. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that because it was really, really good.
Yeah, I think when I went to um, Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins, he talked a lot about that too. Just specifically, like even athletes within the visualization thing, like watching themselves like in their head, like actually like take a golf club and swing it and have it go further for some reason when they went and hit the ball again, like all of a sudden it went further, like because you've already done it in your mind once, like your body starts to follow. And so I think that like it's also just a belief thing too though. Like it's like, yes, you're making it happen, it's like it makes it happen, but it's like I know some people on here are like, well, how do I respond to like a family member or something when like they don't approve of what I do, or they're not into like what I'm doing, or they make fun of it or whatever. And I feel like when you put yourself in a position where you're doing enough of this like type of action, you get to a point where like that doesn't bother you. But not only does it not bother you, you are so strong in your convictions and your beliefs of what you're doing, nobody even dares mess with you. Like nobody even dares say anything about it, because like you have such a strong belief, like they see it actually happening too. And so like that I think was, it becomes an attraction to your business as well, because people are like, yeah, she's doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I want in. I don't know what it is, but I want in. And it really, truly works like that. So it's like that magic little factor. It's also one of the things that's like really easy to skip and not do. I'm glad, Ashley. That's good. Yes. Take that time and figure that out. I know that it's like so important. Sometimes we'll be like, find the why that makes you cry or whatever. But like, we don't talk so much about like, really like anything that you want in this world is such a small little blip compared to like truly what the universe is. Like, it's so small and your life can change so freaking quickly. And I just remember that like, in a blink of an eye, you guys, we all know that like bad stuff can happen, right? Like we all know that like something boom and your life completely changes. So why, when it's a positive thing, do we not believe that it can happen that way? It's not hard. It's not hard for the universe to go, you got what you want. It's us. We're getting in the way with our blocks and with our disbelief and with our negativity and with our comparison and with all the other shit that we tell ourselves isn't possible, or that we put there because maybe, we saw our family didn't have what we wanted or whatever it is. Like, it's insane, the blocks that we put in the way. But if we just removed them, everything would just be like right with us, comes right to you. And then all of a sudden, like, things just start happening. And I know this because it's happened to me. All of a sudden, like, things just start happening and you're like, wow, everything's in flow. Like, everything just happens for me. Like, universe really does have my freaking back. Like, thank you, more please. Like, what the hell? This is easy. Like, and something comes up and you're like, no big deal. It'll get fixed. No big deal. This will take care of it. No big deal. And it does, because you have that mindset. And so getting to that place is so, so freaking important, because it's going to give you everything that you want. You just have to change up here first. It's the 6 inches between your ears that's holding you back, not anything else. Anything else? Any questions? Any thoughts? Some of you, I feel like, are in this. You're like nodding your heads, and I'm like, yeah, I like you. I dig you. And then some of you are like sleeping awake. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Who's excited to go think about this? Meditation, also anxiety, has been crazy lately. Please share those names of meditations in the group. Ashley, I'll go in the team page and I'll just drop a bunch of shit in there for you guys. And by shit, I mean really, really awesome stuff.
Simulation. The word is simulation.
Simulation. It's simulator.
Yeah, visualization is simulation. Okay,
Yeah.
I just had to think of it. So.
Visualization is simulation. It's true, except for, I will tell you, I had a really good job mastering, this is such a side note, Tiger Woods, and I am not a good golfer still. What else? Did I have anything else for you? I don't think I did. Miracle Morning, you guys, I know I mentioned it, but that's another really good one. I know for me the other day when we got up for the power hour at like 5 a.m. and got like work done, it felt so freaking good to like get up and do a meditation and do like my PD and like then get on a call and like get my work done and at like 8 o'clock have all of that done and my workout done for the day and be able to just like be out of pocket, like working from my phone at will, like inviting people or responding to people or whatever while I was out on a boat. Like that life never would have come to me had I not gotten the F out of my own way. And the fact that like I don't have to leave my lake house to go home and I don't have to like, you know, if the kiddos are like my, you know, if my nieces, not my niece, but my nephews are out here and if they're out here and they want to go do something, I can put my shit aside and I can go do it for a bit with them because like I control my schedule and I control my life. And, you know, the freedom that I have right now is amazing, but like I want even more. So it's like, that's great. But for me, it's just like a taste of like what I could be doing. And then I just want more. And part of that more is like providing that to others as well. Like it lights me up to see other people be able to like ditch their like shit and be able to have the life that they want. And like, that's what you guys are all sitting on. You're sitting on the ability to like literally change people's lives while you change your own. And there is nothing more powerful than that because if you help enough people get what they want, you can have anything that you want. Shannon, did you just write the same thing I said as I was saying it? That's so funny. You get the life you want by helping other people get what they want. It's a true story. And it feels freaking good doing it. All right, kids. That's all I had, unless there's questions. It's 9:35. I know we started a few minutes late, so that was pretty damn good. 30 minutes and done. All right. Don't just listen to this call and then be like, that was great. Like go actually like figure this out for yourself and figure out what meditations you're going to do. Set a timed out, prioritized way of making this happen for yourself and commit to it. Seriously, it will change your life. It will change your business.